Hey guys, so if you haven't already checked them out, please do check them out. Checking something here because my internet connection's gone down for some reason. Anyway, yeah, so I hope you had a good Christmas wherever you are, and continue to have a good holiday or season greetings or whatever you call it, and that sort of thing, and are keeping safe and healthy and happy wherever you are. And it'd be great, I think, if COVID suddenly disappeared, wouldn't it? But anyway, I'll say this is continuing on from parts 1 and 2, so please check them out if you haven't already done so. And as ever, I appreciate your comments, my dreams and goals and ideals and things like that. I'll probably be able to fit them all on my videos. I don't ask for a lot, do I suppose? But anyway, so here goes. So number 21, to recap, like I talked about some of my dreams, like for peace and peace, love, and a world harmony, peace, love, harmony, and a better world for all, and like rights for children and animals, and people to support and encourage each other and help the homeless and help the less fortunate generally. I think that would be pretty cool. Like if people could give like presents, if that's something like obviously useful things for the homeless, like things like food or drinks or even just things like water perhaps, or even like training or opportunities or things like that for homeless people, and disabled people and disadvantaged people, and basically making the world a better place. And sometimes I wish I had a better memory, because my memory can be really poor, and sometimes, like you probably noticed in some of my videos, I can lose my chain of thought and things like that, which is really embarrassing and annoying. I'm not sure if that's my dyslexia or old age coming into play, but yeah, so sometimes I wish I had a better memory. Having said that, number 22, sometimes it'd be great if I could not remember too many negative things or remember embarrassing things at the wrong time, which makes me like feel really cringy and go red and stuff like that. But yeah, so sometimes it'd be great if I could like forgive and forget and move on, or things like that, and not have too many regrets or too many negative thoughts, but like keep learning lessons to go into the future and things like that. So so though I would love to have a better memory, sometimes I would love to just not remember too many negative things, and also basically plan for the future and look ahead rather than looking back, but sometimes look at the past to learn from it. But yeah, hopefully in the future, again, it would be great if COVID and other illnesses and diseases were like limited or even got rid of completely, or whatever, and maybe even African and Asian scientists or scientists from developing countries generally, or colonized countries even, as an anti-imperialist, working together towards solving illnesses and diseases and stuff like that would be great. I'll drink to that. 23, I would love to do, as I've talked before about, and as I mentioned, I'm no angel or whatever, as I admitted to, and probably rather foolishly, in part 1. My mind's not always the most selfless or pure or clean or whatever, but I do like to a lot of work for charity, and if I could travel, I'd love to travel to parts of it, like I mentioned before, like Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and the rest of Asia, especially Singapore, and like go to Eurasian centres and like support my fellow Eurasians, as well as other groups, including disadvantaged groups, homeless people, and just generally poorer people in those countries as well, especially, and also like to support people with learning disabilities, special needs, or neurodiverse people. Being slightly dyslexic myself, and dyspraxic as well, I'm quite interested in supporting raising awareness of learning disabilities, and I'd love to support schools, like dyslexia friendly schools, as well as my fellow Eurasian places, like I think in Malaysia and Singapore they're called Kristangs, and in India they're called Anglo-Indians, and in Indonesia they're called Indos, which are part Dutch and part Indonesian. But yeah, so I'd love to support those groups and Eurasian people, or mixed race people generally in Asia as well, and just generally people in Asia as well, and also travel to parts of Africa as well. And as a fan of Italian football, I'd love to travel to Italy, as I said before in my previous videos, and like share my ideas about football, and hopefully improve Italian football with my creative dyslexic ideas and imagination. And I'd love to travel with like groups of other neurodiverse people and Anglo-Indian people or other mixed race groups to go to parts of Asia and Africa, and or possibly even anti-imperialists generally, to support those groups. And again, parts of Africa like Rare Gem School in Kenya, or Dyslexia Organisation Kenya, and things like that. And so I would pray and beg for God to bless the countries I talked about, especially like Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and the rest of Asia, especially Singapore, and also, as I say, all of Asia and Africa, and countries that were colonized, like former colonies. Obviously, I have a bit of a bias in favor of those countries, as I believe they were wronged, or robbed and wronged, and things like that. And also, even countries like Ireland, which were colonized as well. So yeah, I don't know if God would listen to me, but I would beg him to bless those countries and pray for him to bless those countries. Again, all of Asia and Africa, indigenous people from the Americas and Australasia as well, and Ireland as well, and that sort of thing. Number 24, I love to be more productive each day, like do more writing and like plan more, organize my day a bit better. I have a bit of a dilemma because sometimes I do something called a timeline where I sort of plan my day out, like waking up at 8 o'clock and having my breakfast by 9, and then from 9 to 11 doing writing, and then from 11 to 12 going for a walk, or things like that. But sometimes I think that is a bit too rigid, so I do like to make those plans, but maybe I could make them a bit more flexible. And sometimes I like to be a bit more miscellaneous or flexible, or spontaneous. That's what I'm looking for today. But I think it's make the most of each day. So I hope my internet connection is not getting disconnected, because it keeps telling me it is. But so I hope this video is recorded properly. Number 25, as I mentioned in the past, I'd love to support republics as much as possible. Again, that's another group I beg for God to bless. Number 26, I think whenever someone asks for someone to do an errand, like even if it's open the door for someone else, or carry someone's bags, or do anything like that, any sort of errand, I think the person who asks for the errand, some of their blessings should be given to the person who does the errand. That's something I really believe in. Number 27, I think it'd be great to reward all the people who, and as well as organizations who support me and who support the charities I support. As I say, just like, for instance, the dyslexia organizations in Asia and India, Indonesia, and across Asia, especially Singapore, and also across Africa and Ireland as well. I think it'd be great to have a list of those groups who support us, and like always give thanks to those who help the people and individual and organizations. Sorry, the individual people and organizations who support such projects and that sort of thing. Number 28, I think it'd be great, again, if I can make the world a more peaceful and loving place. And again, I wish to God that there was less illnesses, diseases, whatever the difference is between those, illnesses / diseases, natural disasters, and I wish travel was safer, that there was less crashes or problems like that, and there were less problems in the world. That would be pretty cool if there were less of those problems. I say. Number 29, I would love to set up the M.K.S team, which would be a group that would like travel, if in the future, if at all possible, maybe take a risk and travel together to these places which I wish to support, maybe even by ferry, or maybe like on cruise, but although that would be very expensive. But to go to these places I've talked about before, like Malaysia and India, Indonesia, the rest of Asia and Singapore, like, and go to those countries and like support them, and also visit, and again go with Anglo-Indian groups and other groups of like-minded people, perhaps, or people who share a similar goal of making the world a better place. I think it'd be great to travel together. Maybe we could even say take the risk, because even if we haven't had jabs or whatever, it could still be. I wonder if there should be a special transport where people take risks themselves, like basically we're accountable to our own decisions. So I don't think we should be forced not to be able to travel just if we don't have the vaccine or whatever, as people call it, vaccine apartheid and things like that. But yeah, so I think it'd be great to put teams together that go and travel and support people as much as possible, and fundraise to support scientists across Africa and Asia and Ireland and former colonies to work together to solve problems, like maybe to make their own vaccines and their own medicine, which they could test themselves and make sure it's safe and things like that. And number 30, again, I might make other lists like this of my shopping lists, and maybe even make a more adult friendly version or whatever, one for adults or whatever. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've lost my train of thought now. I can't think of anything else. Hope I covered everything and didn't forget anything. And I am out. Peace and love.